Going live. There we go. We're live. Okay. Hi, guys. It is a little bit later than I anticipated getting started this evening, but I thought I would go ahead and do it anyways. Basement's a little bit of a mess right now because the kids, I kind of moved some stuff down here for them, my TV and things like that, so that they could, have some space where they could go and not drive us absolutely crazy. So, that's kind of a cool thing. So yeah, hope you guys are doing good. Sup, Camden? The all-knowing syrup? Okay, that's quite a name. Nice, I like it. So yeah, I wanted to do some later ones because Aunt Jemima, blessed is her name. Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to do a later one because most people, that cookie dough is dope. Sup, Quayla? How you doing? Let's see. I think I made about half of it whenever I got home, and ate the crap out of them. So I still got about half of that tub yet to go, and it's pretty good, cooked and otherwise. So anyways, let's see. Hang on, my computer's acting a little goofy this morning too. I downloaded a new game last night from Steam, and it was not very enjoyable, so I went ahead and got rid of it. What's up, Corey? I'm doing well. There's Tom in the background. I don't know if you saw him walking around. Tom's. Come here. Say hi. He's come on. Come on. Yeah. God, he is a chunk. This is Mrs. Mudd's cat, Tom. He is a big old boy. Let's see. Our big thing today is we're building another chicken coop. So we went and bought lumber for it, and tomorrow we're going to start building, and hopefully have some chicks by the end of the week. And that's on top of the 3 cats. That's a lot of cats, my guy. That is a lot of cats. All right, you want to get down, or you gonna hang out here for a minute? This cat likes to drool, so you have to watch out. Oh, the double pets for the victory. You see all this fur that's coming off of him? I need to brush him again. Bro, what have you been getting up to? Anyways, so yeah. I'm trying to think of any updates you guys might need to know. Seniors. One thing they were talking about is the pickup for that guy from Austin Powers. I mean, Dr. Evil. I would have to have a hairless cat for that, and they kind of weird me out a little bit. Although I know that might be that you legitimately can see cat fur just flowing everywhere. My God, why, cat? Why you do that? He's drooling. Gross. You're a weird cat. Anyways, but yeah, they're sending out information about getting a hold of you guys for getting caps and gowns and things like that. So keep an eye out for those, and then. Everybody else, basically, the one thing they want to make folks aware of is if you got a Chromebook for NTI, they're not overly bothered about picking them up just yet. They basically said if you want to hang on to them over the summer, when is yearbooks going to be shipped? That would be a question for Mr. Braun. I don't know. They might have mentioned it. But my guess is it's going to be kind of a slow process. Now, that being said, I could be wrong about that. I do know they've also planned out like how it's going to go about for pickups, because some people have stuff at school they need to get, and unfortunately people can't walk through the building. Like they told me I can't go into the building unless I go through this whole process where they do like um, training on wearing masks and all this kind of nonsense. So it's not exactly like an easy just go get what you need sort of thing. Like there's a process where you have to go and like tell them what you need, and they go and get it and things like that. Hey, I have a question. If you only have one assignment missing from NTI, do you fail? No, that's not going to happen. I do know that there is some wiggle room when it comes to that, because it's based upon like your grade previous to that and all that kind of thing. But let me tell you how it works for me, because as I said, I can't speak for anybody else. But the way it goes for me, as you guys know, the way I run my classes, you had until the end of the last day to turn in missing work. And because of the fact that we didn't have that time, I decided to go ahead and boost everybody based upon that assumption. So right now, no one has a U. The lowest grade anybody has is like a D, like a flat D, mid D, something like that. Most everybody got bumped up, to be perfectly honest. And the way I'm going about it is, if you're communicating with me and you're participating in it, I don't care if you get every single assignment turned in. If you get some stuff turned in, that's fine. The fact is, I don't know what your life situation is like. I don't know what you're going through. I know, and I know, like Quayle, you've heard this story because you were here for it, but like a friend of mine, like my wife's best friend, who has a nephrotic disorder. Basically, it's sort of like kidney cancer, but it's not really cancer. It's essentially an aggressive disease that essentially makes her kidneys very susceptible to damage. And so, long story short, it's an autoimmune disease. And because of that, she's very, very much one of those folks who is at risk for COVID-19, and she got it. So we were like all pins and needles. Like, we don't know if she's going to die or whatever. I mean, it was just a really terrible time. And, I don't know what people are going through. So you know what? If this has to take a back step into getting other things done, so be it. The one thing I want you to do is stay healthy, to do what you need to do to make certain that you are coming out of this as well as you can. And if you're getting some history into it, then great. But otherwise, no, I'm not going to fail someone for not turning in one NTI assignment. I think that's asinine. But again, I am not Miss Sawyer. I cannot make that thing. Is JCPS passing everyone? No, that is a definitive not. At present, there are 70 people in our academy who have U's that are seen. No, that total. In the manufacturing academy, there are 70 people with U's. Right now, I think we have 4 seniors with U's. And if that happens, they don't graduate. So it is definitely one of those things not to dally about, I wouldn't mess about with it personally. But no, they're not just passing everybody. And as a general rule of thumb, it's one of those things that NTI is meant to help more than it hurts. But if someone had a U going into it and didn't do everything or didn't do anything, then yeah, they're not going to pass. Right now, looking at what I'm going to have, I'm probably going to have a few people fail. And that's including that they had the grade going into it. And that's just because they haven't done a single thing this entire time. That being said, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to do. Basically, you'd have to do absolutely nothing and ignore every phone call, that sort of thing. Um, but most of the teachers I've spoken to have said that they're going to be taking NTI work and using that to prop people up. I'm getting any notification of your class and just did all the work. Oh, can you hear? Yeah, sure, Benjamin. That's not a worry. What I'll end up doing is on Monday morning when I post the new assignment, I'm going to go back and I check what everybody's done. Every time you do an assignment for me, it sends me an email. So like, yeah, I haven't looked at your email just yet, but I'm sure I got it. In which case, it's going to say, yeah, they did this, this, and this, and I'll just mark it accordingly. And it's in case you didn't know, it's a 3, a 2, and a 1 grade. So 3 means everything's fine. 2 is you got a little bit more work to do. 1 is you did nothing. And to be perfectly honest, my assignments are so easy. I don't think I've given anybody a 2 since maybe the first one, which it was like you had to write something. So it's not a big deal. Super easy stuff. That being said, I'm curious what you guys have thought about the assignments so far. It seemed most everybody enjoyed the restoration of the Ave Maria last week. Is that something kind of like something you'd like to do again, like so that sort of video, or would you guys like to mix it up with other kind of stuff? You know, because I'm sort of open to things. They've been all right. Okay, cool. Anybody else have any opinions on that matter? In case you're wondering too, like why I'm not doing this as like a Google Classroom type thing, or not a classroom, a Google Meetup, things like that. There have been a lot of weird things that people have done on those that I'm just kind of like, I don't really want to have to deal with that. There's Skittles crawling around down here too. Skittles is the kitten we got last year, and she is feisty. She does not like to be picked up. She's a calico, so go there. Mr. Graduate, this is the only class none of my work is done. I'm not on the list for graduating, and this is the only class none of my work is done until a few minutes ago. CI school. I don't honestly know. I'm kind of confused by that because from what I understand is we had this week, and I wasn't sure about the next week or the week after, because according to our accounts, we have 9 weeks, and this is week 7. So I don't know. I'm gonna get that information but I feel like there's 1 more week, but I could be wrong on that. I know that next week we don't, but as for the week after that, I'm not 100% certain. So long story short is just keep an eye out. If you get another assignment drop in Google Classroom, you'll know. But I'm not going to lie. I'm sort of a little confused about the whole process. Let's go. But one last question, and then I have to go. But like, since next week is the last week, but it's also a half week holiday. I don't know the answer to that question. What they explained it to me is that, yeah, word. What it's explained to me is that certain classes have to have more work based upon what the requirement is from the state. I don't have that class, so I don't know. I know what I've been told what I need to do in order to make certain that everyone passes, and that's what I'm doing. You know, that's all I can say about that. I don't know. I think some people are a little crazy about it, to be perfectly honest. But I also think that a lot of folks don't have a choice because based on whatever classes people are taking, they have to do specific requirements. And if they don't do that, then you don't get the credit, and that creates a whole problem for next year. Because there are going to be people who are going to have to make up stuff next year. Which brings us to the interesting question, what's going to happen next year? And we don't know. The Kentucky Board of Education last week released a suggestion, which was basically one of 3 possibilities. Option 1 is basically what we already have. Option 2 was sort of NTI all the time, and I doubt that's going to happen. Option 3, which is interesting, is sort of a blended process. And what that would be is part of the school year, people would be doing NTI work, and part of the school year, people would be coming into class like normal. And what exactly that looks like, there's a lot of theories. One of them would be sort of like everyone would sign up, and some folks would be like, do you want to come into school or do you want to stay at home and do NTI? And basically, we would have numbers based on that. All right, peace out, Quail. I'll see you. Another possibility with that would be something like we have sort of like an A and a B group, and like A group would come in on like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and B group would come in Tuesday, Thursday, and then they would flop, so that B group would start off Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, so everyone would get the same amount, and then they would, whenever you're not in school, you'd be doing NTI, so it would be kind of a blended thing. But as far as what we're going to do, I don't know. I'm actually genuinely curious to see how this is going to pan out, because this is probably going to be the norm until we come up with some solution, like a vaccine or something like that. So it is definitely an interesting question to see what's going to be going forward. And, hopefully it works out for the best for you guys, whatever that case may be. I know that they're looking into it and trying to come up with something that's equitable so that everybody benefits the most possibly. But it's, like I said, unprecedented times. We don't know what this is going to look like because we've never been here before. Any case. All right. One thing I want to reach out to you guys too and say is, if you have individual questions about your grade, email me, or you can call me at the house line, which I think I've already shared with you guys. But if not, I'll look into it and try to do so. But essentially, I want to make certain that you guys have all the information you need to feel confident going forward, that you have what you need to do what you need to do, and get your diploma, or get on to that next class, whatever that case may be. Oh, no worries. Not a problem. I'm glad that you got everything in and it's all going to work out, hopefully. But any case, like I said, just reach out, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. But from what I understand is, if you go on the JCPS Infinite Campus, student portal, like you would normally check your grade, it's going to look a little weird, but you can still go to high school term grade, and it will give you my grade that I'm going to be posting. I think it's next week or the week after or something like that. And then you will have your grade. But yeah, at present, if I look at the number of folks I need to get in contact with, that list is, I think, 12 people. And I can pretty much tell you that everybody on this list is not on, everyone who's talking to me right now is not on that list. So you guys are good to go. So, double check, make certain everything's good. And I hope you guys are doing well, because I know this has got to be stressful, for lack of a better word. But the thing I find encouraging, especially being a history teacher and a historian, is even though we haven't been in this situation specifically before, we have overcome some truly horrendous moments in the past. And even though we haven't been at this specific point, humanity is incredibly adept at overcoming obstacles. There has never been a time in history where everything has just been peaceful and, there's been no difficulty. And we will get through this. It's just a matter of time. So if nothing else, take care of yourselves and those around you, because they're the ones who are going to help you get through this. So, if nothing else, I do want to say you guys made my first year at PRP one of the best years teaching I've had in probably a decade, which seems weird to say because I don't feel that old, but apparently I got old when I wasn't looking. So thank you guys for making me feel so welcome and giving me that opportunity. And if nothing else, let me know if you need help, and I'll try whatever I can to help you. So I'm seeing more and more people drop out. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to go play some more Bloodstained on the Switch upstairs. And wish you guys a good night. Any more questions? Giraffe. You're welcome. All right. I don't see anybody else, so have a good night, y'all. Take care.